and you are. We are Citizen Outbreak. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Citizen Outbreak. A lot has happened since our last episode. Matthew, how are you doing?
Good. The Knicks won.
The Knicks won. Look at this. You see this?
Yeah. How did you get that hat?
I got people.
Did you get another one for me?
I'm going to try. They're sold out everywhere.
They're sold out. They're not shipping until August.
They're not shipping for a while. So the story, and I gave her a shout out at the Daddy's Girls podcast before I had the hat. But my office manager, a.k.a. the Labubu lady, a.k.a. the Knicks lady, she like got, I don't know what it was. She went off for a walk, and she's a huge Knicks fan too. And she stumbled upon the NBA store, and she texted me. She's like, "Hey, do you want a hat?" And she got me 2 hats. I gave one to Ariana. I got one. She did get me this one too. But no, yeah, they're sold out. They're sold out everywhere.
The one you're wearing is the good one.
Yeah, the one I'm wearing is the legit Knicks championship authentic hat. Yeah, so she got lucky. She got really lucky at the NBA store. And after she was walking out, that's when like it was line around the corner. Everything is sold out. But I got lucky. But I ordered a few. They're not coming for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I went on and it said nothing shipping before August. I thought that was.
Did you order or you didn't order?
I did. I ordered. I wanted the hat. I like that hat. Yeah, I wore the hat from my bar mitzvah.
What's the hat from your bar mitzvah?
Everybody got a Knicks hat. It had the date of my bar mitzvah and my name. It was a dope hat.
Oh, that's great. And you still have it?
Yeah, that's what I wore when we won. And we were losing. I knew we were going to win. Everybody was down. I said, we're going to win. And there was one girl sitting at the table that didn't look so happy. And I took my hat and I put it on her. And I said, "You're not taking off this hat." And she smiled. And she had a nice smile. I said, "You got to keep smiling. And we're going to win."
Cute?
Yeah, she was cute. But
Did you get a number?
She was with us. But the thing is, the second she put on the hat, things turned around.
So
where'd
you watch?
I watched it at Kith Ivy.
How was that? Good crowd?
There was one other group that was really into it. But I mean, as the game went on, everybody got really into it. You know, I mean, it's kind of like, and I spoke to a lot of other, my guys that are Knicks fans. And everybody had a similar story. You know, the environment that they were in didn't match. You know, is this going to be where? Like, I spoke to one buddy, and he went to like a very civilized couples thing out. You know, like, and he was intense, and his wife was like telling him to stop. Like, you know, other people went to different venues, and the TV was. It's kind of like if you grew up with this and you were a Knicks fan. We were all kind of hypersensitive to the crowd, the energy, the crowd, and everything. And it was a funny thing because it was a similar story, and everybody, pretty much every, I didn't watch it. I watched it with 2 people that and it ended up being wonderful is the answer because we won and everybody was going nuts.
Buddy's house, Gerbs, you know him. Huge Knicks fans. It was our family and his family.
So the focus was there.
Well, yeah, we were cursing, we were cheering. I think somebody was crying.
That's amazing. That's the best.
It was a lot of emotions running wild.
Did you burn any cars or no?
You know what? I wanted to go back. I was in New Jersey. I wanted to go into New York and I wanted to burn some cars. But on Wednesday, I was in the city, and Matthew, this was Wednesday when they won the game, when they were down like 30 points and they came back.
Oh, game 4.
Game 4, yeah. And
were you at game 4?
I was not at game 4. I went to the Avenue opening.
Oh, right. You were you were close. You were in the area.
I was close. The problem wasn't me being close. The problem is I took an Uber back to where my car was parked. My car was parked in Midtown. And all of 7th Avenue, if you look to the left towards Times Square, you looked all the way down 7th Avenue, you only saw a sea of people. And I've never been so scared in my life. I've only been scared another time similar to this is when I was in Israel and by accident I wandered into Lebanon. That's the closest I've been to being scared. And you know me,
Similar
Matthew,
crowd.
I don't get scared easy. It's one other thing that scares me is plane turbulence and planes. Other than that, I don't give a shit. I'll fuck you up on the street. But I was scared. I saw 2 little kids chasing another guy with a stick, and I didn't wait around to see what happened to that guy. I did not want to be that guy. I saw cars being jumped on. I saw trash cans being turned over. And you know, I understand. I understand that the enthusiasm that the Knicks, but I don't understand is, and it's not just New York, it's all Philly. We saw it in France a couple weeks ago. The whole I have to destroy the city to celebrate. I don't get that.
So I think there's a few things going on, and you know, just keeping it because there's the overall thing, and I want to, I want the overall energy of this Knicks team, this Knicks run, this Knicks win is so overweighted positive. I mean, okay, so I don't want to kind of, you know, but there are pockets within it that are really gross and like, so the whole, by the way, the areas, so downtown, the footage that you saw from downtown, like the West Village, the energy was incredible. Like people were all together singing, like happy, like there was no destroying shit, you know? The stuff Midtown, Times Square, where there were gunshots, you know, the clips that I saw were crazy, like box cutters being pulled, buses being torched, very different energy. And I think there's a few things going on. I think that there are people that'll seize the opportunity to, no matter what, you know, to cause problems. And I think that those people have been increasingly and consistently glamorized and promoted by the politicians. They were told in 2020, you know, that burning shit down was civil rights, that you're supposed to do that. They were told that it's okay to do all this stuff. That's how they express themselves now. You know, the stuff, when I saw them beat up the one Spurs fan, it almost made me become a Spurs fan for the series. I was really disgusted by it. Like these kids, the generation really has nothing redeemable about them. I hate the young generation. And even as Knicks fans, like I saw Portnoy, what he wrote about, like, I can't stand these kids. They grew up, like we grew up with teams that were like, we were tortured in the 90s and the 80s. Like those guys we had amazing teams that went up against Jordan. It was different. These kids, like, you know, like they're running around and it's like, it's ugly to me. I don't like the way, I don't like them as fans. You know, the idea that you can destroy shit in the city repulses me. You know, now that's a pocket. It's ugly to me. I credit that to the mayor of the city and to the Democrats and a bunch of Republicans that talk about that stuff as being kind of civil rights expression, which it's not. But overall, it's such a positive, man.
It's a positive. And, you know, we talk about on this, especially more so me than you, because you love New York still. Like you're a New Yorker. Me, I have one foot out the door already. But I got to tell you, the last 2 weeks in New York have been electric. Okay. To the point where I almost came out saying, maybe I'll stay. Maybe I won't go to Florida. But I don't know. Maybe it's just these 2 weeks. I mean, the city is lit right now. And I don't mean lit from the fires. I mean, people are out. This is the best time. People are out. They're eating. They're out and about. The Knicks have the city energized. Every time I go around and I'm on the street, people are actually smiling for once.
It's amazing.
But let me ask you something, Matthew.
Yeah.
Do you think that New York, that this honeymoon is going to be over in a few weeks and then it's going to be lit, as in lit on fire again. Like the shit is going to be
I
back.
think.
Like
I
right now
think.
we have a lot of
Here's what I'll tell
security
you.
in the
Here's
city.
what I'll tell you. I think what you're feeling and what you're seeing is uniquely New York, and it's amazing. And it's why I say New York, New York. I've never done. New York is undefeatable. You know, you go to a Yankee game, like you go these Knicks. You go to a Yankee game, and when it's close at the end of a game, and you're in that stadium, and all of a sudden the crowd, like New York is an energy that isn't matched anywhere else. And, you know, look, we've got politicians that are making every aspect about it harder to endure, right? They're making it, what do you call it? Inhospitable to business. They're making it, they're degrading every quality of life issue they can, and fast and compounding. But then you get these glimpses, and it shows you that, you know, when the pendulum swings, and it will, you know, part of this is cyclical, Rudy. Like, you know, my dad's 93 years old, and we were riding through the city, and it's disgusting. Like we were going up Madison Avenue. They've torn that thing to shit. Like they've got one lane. They're selling bananas on the side. Like it's you don't know where the hell you are. And it's a mess. And he looks around. He's like, they're really beating the shit out of this city, and they got planks everywhere. Like it's torn up, but it's undefeatable. It comes back. There was 30 years of uninterrupted Democrat rule before Giuliani came in, and you know the feeling that you're feeling now. You know that excitement. You know, you look on Instagram, you see these young kids that traveled here, they're transplants, and they're right now posting about how it's New York or nowhere, you know? And it is. You're not connected when you walk out your door in a place like Miami. And Miami's got the weather, it's beautiful. Palm Beach is even, you know, safe, it's nice. There's other things that we want more of here. But New York has a real heartbeat, and you see it when the city comes alive with the stuff. It's amazing, and it's not matched anywhere else in the world.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. And I don't think that it's going to be over anytime soon. I think that it's just begun, because Zohran's only been in town for a couple months. And I think that him...
I think it's going to get worse.
Yeah. I think it's going to get worse. And the fact is that those
30 years,
New York or nowhere, those are the same kids that voted for this douchebag. And these are the same kids that were burning on the street that want everything for free.
You know, okay. It's a funny dichotomy. I think I was with people last night. They're like, the guy is massively popular. I think he's massively popular on the street. You know, the people that have money in New York, they're out of here. For like right now, they're getting ready to leave. Okay, the New Yorkers that have the money, they're gone.
Well, they weren't gone during the Knicks.
No, they
weren't. They were paying $100,000 a ticket,
and they were flying to San Antonio to watch it, and they were crazy about it, and they love it, and they're in New York partying, but they're gonna get ready to go, and like, I think things are continually getting more expensive here, more unaffordable. His message only gets louder. Never mind, he's not coming up with ways to fix it. He's only coming up with ways to compound it. Right. But it's like this funny thing, because the more unaffordable and terrible it is, the more people are receptive to him saying it's so unaffordable and so unfair. You know, people don't stop themselves to say, okay, but can you do anything about it? You know, like, yeah, I mean, you know, he and Hochul are really doing everything they can. But I think, I think you asked me, like, do I think it can come back? I think it can come back. I think that, like, right now, the person that lives, I don't know, pick your country or state or wherever they're from, and they have dreams about getting to New York and jumping in, it's not changed to like, I want to get to Miami, and like New York is still New York from a branding perspective from the outside. And when you get here, you still feel it, I think. But look, I think the damage is just starting to get even worse, and it'll compound. But then it'll come back eventually. I'm an optimist.
Eventually, in 30 years.
Look, it's been a pretty big, look, here's the thing. Here's the other thing about it. And I was speaking about this with somebody the other day. All these things, whenever we're talking about these bad events happening, right? Like the AI doomsday, everybody's going to get replaced, or the eventual pop in the bubble that's coming. When you're in the middle of something, you kind of lose perspective of something. Okay. We created a game about it to catch that reality. It was called Citizen Outbreak. And we saw all this crazy shit happening. We said, maybe somebody should document it so that people have an idea. People talk about things are going to get really bad. Bro, I'm paying $40 for a taxi that used to cost me $6. They're telling me that inflation is 2%. Inflation is 35% a year minimum. But we're sitting here talking about when things are going to get really bad. We're living through a rolling doomsday in terms of affordable. People used to work at Walmart. Al Bundy was a shoe salesman. He had a big house. His wife didn't work. He had a dog. He had 2 kids. I mean, they went on trips. That shit doesn't exist today.
No,
if you told, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Also, when Al Bundy was working as a shoe salesman, he kept most of his check. Now they were getting taxed up the ass.
Well, what I'm saying is, he had a house. He had 2 kids. He had a dog. The house, and it was a single income family. So it doesn't exist. And what I'm saying is, if you do that jump, we're at doomsday, right? I mean, and so we continue to talk about what's coming. If you look around, New York's a shithole. The infrastructure is crumbling. It's dirty everywhere. You can't walk down the street without it stinking a pot. I hate that. Some people love that. I can't stand it. I was jogging this morning, first thing in the morning. Guy smoking a joint on the reservoir. I went through I can't stand it. People love it though. I don't know. Look, but all of that reality, New York is in there.
When you were talking about jogging, Anchorman popped into my head. I was going for an afternoon jog when a man on the bench was smoking a spliff, and the smoke of marijuana blew into my face.
Wait, is that part 2 or 1?
No, it wasn't in there. I just made it up, but because he kept talking about yogging instead of jogging.
Oh, I liked when he was leaning down and he pulled the cigarette out of the guy's mouth.
I added the rest in there. You remember, I went to school to be a script writer. I could write script on the fly. But yeah, I hope I look.
Such a dope
I love
hat.
New York. I mean, it was exciting. I was out in the city. I saw people I haven't seen in 20 years. Same music, same people. Things never change. The New York Knicks are the champions of the world.
It's amazing.
And it's exciting. Hey, did you see that James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks and the Rangers, Madison Square Garden, did you see that he gave a speech to the Knicks players before the playoffs about not having sex?
Yeah, wait, sex? When did he say that? Did I not watch the whole thing?
Before the Knicks playoff.
I saw the speech. It was amazing.
So I didn't see the speech, but he told them, look, I want you to refrain from having sex.
I got to go. I missed that part. It was a long speech.
Well, you missed the part where he said, I want you to refrain from having sex. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the Knicks players refrained from having sex, or do you think
you're taking me down a different route? And, I don't understand this whole generation. They're all look, I don't want to denigrate any part of these Knicks. I love them. But I don't, they're all walking around with purses. I don't know what they're doing. Each one of them's got some kind of furry purse or, the latest, I don't know. I don't relate to that certain parts of it. I love them. They're feel good story. I love them all. Did you see OG was just torn up on Good Morning America or whatever?
Yeah, I saw. I mean, these guys are great. I like the fact that they all, they get along. There's that whole gel. And what I'm afraid of is in the off season they're going to bring that one guy in to help keep the championship run going for another year. And when you bring that one guy in, it's like when you bring that one friend into the friend group and you're like, oh, this is a cool guy.
If it doesn't mix, it doesn't mix
everything up.
What's interesting to me, and it was such a cool. I didn't believe in this team at the start of the playoffs. I said to everybody, I don't buy it. I didn't think that they had it. And I haven't been big on the NBA for a while. I think they've done away with a lot of things, and a lot of the rules that they've put in, the style of play. I think it's really slid. All of a sudden, Game 3, it just clicked for these Knicks, and they started playing incredible basketball, so much better than the rest of the league. And it shows you that in sports, in business, in life, things can click. And once they click, it just compounds, and there was no looking back. I mean, they dominated everybody. I loved it. It felt good, amazing.
Yeah, I'm man, couldn't talk for 2 days.
Yeah, I was high. I mean, I love talking about it. It's great on every angle.
Let's go into our next topic, which was Sunday. The White House posted the UFC fights.
Yeah.
Did you watch this?
I caught it, and I thought
after I texted you.
So I got home, and when you were like, "Are you watching this?" and somebody else was, I was like, "What else is there?" And then I remembered, and I turned it on. Yeah, I watched it. I watched like a big chunk of it. I saw a lot of it.
I mean, it was so. As a UFC fan, I thought it was
some good
very
fights.
exciting because you had a lot of good fights. All the fights were knockouts.
Yeah.
Or not knockouts, TKOs.
Yeah, but there was a lot of striking. It wasn't just a lot of chest to chest.
No, there was definitely a lot of striking. The setup was, at first I was like, what the fuck is this? This is like embarrassing. You got the setup in front of the White House. It's kind of like
they're walking through the walkthroughs with he and Dana White. I mean, and then Tyson Fury walking through the Oval Office.
I mean, yeah, they used the White House as their dressing rooms to come out, and they were practicing whatever, stretching and all this stuff, and then they walk out into the ring, and it's like, holy shit, like this is crazy. But the production was amazing. I can't believe that they actually pulled it off. And on top of that, I don't know if you saw this, but not because directly in front of the White House, it was like special guests, the president's family, invited people.
Mm.
But then off to the side, somewhere in Washington, D.C., on some lawn, there was like 80,000 people.
What were they doing?
Watching it on screens and cheering.
Oh, like organized watch parties.
Yeah, organized watch party. It was an organized watch
party. I didn't even
party
see that. Amazing.
For the UFC. And these people were going nuts, like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not crazy like burning down New York. I'm saying cheering crazy.
Look, I thought it was really weird. And look, some of it, I mean, like brought to you by Trump Coin. I mean, come on. But look, it was quite a spectacle. And it is the people's house, right? It's no one person. It's not Trump's house. It is the people's house. And one comparison that got popular the next day, kind of on all the right wing, if you want to call it conservative kind of influencers, they showed what in Biden years, what they did with the White House. They brought it, the LGBTQZ squared thing. They brought and made big parties of that, and people were taking their tops off and putting up different flags there, which is a big no-no. And so it's not the first time that it's been used as a venue to really push specific type of programming. In this case, the programming was, striking and UFC, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah, they did. They did a great. The fights were great. Did you see this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? I know he fought
Lewis.
Derek Lewis, but what was the guy's name? He was on the San Francisco 49ers.
What did he say? Did he say something afterwards?
He gave the president a necklace or some kind of necklace, and then he got in the ring and he goes something about Michelle Obama is a man.
Right.
Now, I mean, look, the one thing is the UFC guys and Dana White allows them to say whatever they want to say in the ring.
Right.
They can say whatever they want. It doesn't have to be pro-Republican, pro-Democrat. They say whatever they want to say in the ring. We've seen it with a lot of the different UFC fighters. Not that night, but other nights they talk about whatever they want. And he doesn't, mute them like other organizations. And this guy came out and he said it. Now, I mean, this was at a White House event. Now, maybe he shouldn't have said that, but now the guy's going to get a lot of press on it. He's getting a lot of press, and he did kick the shit out of, a very, very big man in Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis is a bad man.
Bad man. And now because he said that, is that going to bring a lot of eyeballs on him from saying that? I think so.
Well, I think that's why he said it.
No, I think he said it because he believes it.
And he believes it, maybe. Look.
They didn't pan over to President Trump when he said it. I would like to have seen his reaction to to the big mic talk.
Look, man, I mean, it serves to energize both sides, right? It's where we are. Do I think it's appropriate? If I were to script where we should be, where I'd like our political climate to be? No, I wouldn't love that to be where we're at. We're there. It's, and I don't really hold, the reality is we're there. I don't know that I really think anything is really off bounds anymore. I think, the people that are offended by this event aren't being intellectually honest if they can't draw the line to, the people lifting up their shirts with the LGBTQ flag hung on the White House, which is actually a violation of the I think Constitution. You're not allowed to hang a different.
Matthew, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Huh.
It's not people picking up their shirts. It was a transvestite lifting up his shirt to show his fake breasts.
Right. Better. Thank you. I mean, look, but there were a lot of them. I mean,
I don't know. I wasn't really watching. I just saw the clip of the one going like this.
There was a lot. Look, I mean, it was a very, very focused. Look, they used the White House to promote something that applies to around 0.2% of the population, at best. And so.
Are you saying they didn't have 80,000 trannies somewhere close to DC cheering?
I'm saying that less than 0.2% of America identifies as transvestite, I guess. And I'm saying using the White House. I'm saying I don't think they did. They might have had some people burning cars or doing something like that. But so I'm thinking if you're not upset about that, you don't have a big audience with me if you're now upset about this.
Yeah. I mean, last question on this topic before we go, because you know how much I love getting your insight on this. Do you think it was a right time, given that we're kind of I guess we were out of the war during this time, but my answer to that is even more cynical, probably. Like I kind of feel like they're going to do like the war. I don't even know. I guess we're going to talk about that next. I don't even know what we're doing there. And it's a pretty amazing thing that in this, nobody's even talking. When was the last time anybody raised the issue of Iran to me, as a real concern? Like, nobody in normal discourse is like, oh my God, what are we going to do? People have they're valuing SpaceX as though we're already on Mars. You have Goldman Sachs saying you should be valuing SpaceX. You're jumping all over my topics, Matthew. I got Iran war.
What I'm saying to you is, I'll take it up in altitude. What I'll say to you is nothing is stopping the train right now. And, it's kind of like we've accepted the people that are in charge of monetary policy, political policy. Everybody understands right now we're done even pretending like we cannot stop this. It's until things, and God forbid, things just blow up. It's pedal to the metal.
Right. So, okay. Iran war.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, President Trump said the Iran war is done. It's over. We don't know what that means. We
Well,
still don't. We still
so
didn't
far,
see an agreement.
we're sending them. I've seen that the draft says we're going to commit around $300 billion to rebuilding the fucking place.
No. Trump says that draft is bullshit.
Oh, okay.
He says bullshit.
Oh, so then I
We're
don't know.
not sending them any money. Zero. Today he said it. He said we are not sending any money to Iran.
Okay, so then I don't have the latest draft.
Nobody's seen the draft. What are you talking about? I don't even think Iran saw the draft.
I don't know. I don't know. The answer is I don't know what the win is here. We apparently blew up a lot of their capability. We buried, at best, or at least buried their nuclear capability, right? And as I understand it, I think the arguments over whether or not they get to start building it up again or remove all the rubble that's burying it right now. And I guess he's not paying them because we need them to give up control of the Hormuz. But people aren't even talking about that.
No, people are talking about it. I'll tell you who's talking about it. The people who are in economy are talking about it. Why? Because they're already sick of this war, because we need the gas prices to come down. We need oil to come down. We need interest rates to come down. And the only thing that's holding back all of this is this freaking war, because without the war, oil prices don't come down, gas prices don't come down, inflation doesn't come down, and we don't get that golden age that Trump has been promising us. Once the war, and you saw it. You saw it today. You saw it the other day. Today is what, Tuesday? For the past 2 days, oil has come down. It was at 90 something last week. It's at 76 today, Matthew.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It dropped like a rock. And not only that, but it's going to go down further. And you know what happens when it goes down further, Matthew?
What happens?
Inflation comes down. And you know what happens when inflation comes down?
What happens?
People spend money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Look,
what people are talking about it.
I get it. I'm saying that there was a period where people were talking about it like, hey, the world could end right now, World War III. Inflation isn't slowing down. I don't think inflation's slowing down no matter what.
No, I'm not saying inflation's slowing down in what we see on a day-to-day basis, okay? What I'm saying is,
I get it. Look, I'm with you.
When the CPI comes out and whatever numbers they throw at us, because none of it is real. We saw that it happened in the Biden administration. They're throwing out fake numbers, and you got Jerome Powell reducing interest rates, even though whatever. It's a whole mess. They lie to us all the time.
Look, it's a good thing to get that thing wrapped up. At the end of the day, I'm unclear as to what it is, but I guess the draft that I saw, he says, is no good.
No, he says it's no good. I don't think there's a draft. And who's he negotiating with? The cardboard box?
I have no idea.
You know, I came home the other day. I was so angry with Iran that I ripped up and I got into a fight with my Amazon box.
Who won?
I said, listen to me, you Ayatollah. Pop, pop, pop. I ripped that piece.
I thought we got him.
In the recycling bin.
I thought they got him.
No, he's the one negotiating, supposedly. And supposedly he's a very nice guy. You know, because he's gay.
Yeah. He's happy.
He's happy. He's happy.
They say he's very happy.
He's very happy. Impotent happy.
Oh, and impotent, yeah, and blind, right?
He's an impotent, blind cardboard cutout. Matthew. Joking aside, did you get any SpaceX stock?
I didn't get any SpaceX stock. Did you get good allocation?
I did not get allocation, but I did get it at 155, and I did sell it at 175.
And then you bought that hat.
I day traded it.
Nice.
And then I bought the ETF, and I made some more money on that.
Nice.
But once the dust settles with SpaceX, and I know that you said, oh, we have an imaginary whatever, and I actually whatever imaginary we have, I do think that this is a good stock to hold once dust settles, and you just tuck it away. I think it's a good thing because he has good stuff going on with the satellites.
Look, the guy, people buy him. I don't even. I mean, I think what's SpaceX doing in terms of revenue today?
They're not making money.
No, the revenue. I think they have 16 billion of revenue.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And Amazon has like 264 billion, and they're valued. I think they overtook Amazon in terms of market cap.
Right, but you're talking about future here, Matthew.
Look, I think
one asteroid, and we're all trillionaires.
I think we're in an incredible time and I'm obviously not a smart person because I should be a billionaire.
You and me both.
Look, this guy, Goldman Sachs, who's as white shoe as it gets, is out there telling everybody they should be valuing this stock based on he's already taken us to Mars.
I don't think Mars is where he's going. Everyone keeps saying Mars,
Pluto,
Mars.
Pluto. I don't know.
No, I don't. No.
At this point, he could say anything. Is my point.
I think, and I believe we've talked about it on a previous episode when we were talking about the helium. I think that he wants to mine an asteroid.
Okay, I mean, we're at a point where we're talking about, and we're not sitting here like giving like valuation.
This is not financial advice.
Right. What I'm saying is literally that's how we're talking about what this guy's doing. And that's how Goldman Sachs is talking about him. Like that is and actually you're actually doing the bearish case because Goldman Sachs is out there saying that the responsible thing is that, we've already set up hospitality on Mars. That's how you got to value this thing. They're doing the same thing. That is the business model right now across all of AI is just corporate finance. So we're in this thing and they keep going. And I think we're going to keep going.
I think it keeps going up. The stock.
I think so too. Where else? Look, what's his name? The guy that is gone now that when they brought out the tariffs, what's the guy's name? They put him in jail for a little bit.
Who?
He was Mr. Tariff. I forget his name.
What did he do?
He worked for Trump. He was part of the team, and he brought out the tariffs. And he was going everywhere talking about the tariffs. Not Newmark.
Jail?
Yeah, he was put in jail for a couple months.
Recently?
Last year, 2 years ago. Not Bannon. You could look him up. Anyway, back
Navarro?
then, Navarro, yeah.
Yeah, Navarro?
Navarro said, like, when the tariffs went out and they dropped by 2,000, he said the stock market's going to be at 50,000 in 8 months. And he was right. Stock market will keep going up until life is over because it's the only place people can go.
Right.
Look,
the reason why it goes up is because the good stocks keep going up and the bad stocks, well, they go bankrupt and they're gone and they just take them off the stock market.
I mean, you have a few in there, but it's the only tool they have. People can't put their money in it. When inflation happens, that's the only place any return, people are going. So it is going to keep going up. You'll see blips like eventually, and eventually with the whole AI thing, I think they're going to have to come out with kind of the next leg. And you saw some of that with like what they're trying to do with like the Anthropic's new model and everything. They're going to have to come up with the next stage of the narrative on the AI, because I think there are cracks that are starting to show, but they'll come up with it and people will ride with it. And I think, they're just trying to keep pouring as much fuel on the fire as possible.
So, Matthew, are you bullish or bearish on SpaceX stock right now?
No, I'm bullish. I don't think that it's, I think that it's crazy. I think it's like a pet rock times a million, whatever.
Are you buying?
No, am I buying it? I might go in and out of it. I think on the fundamentals, it's crazy. It's a great example of where we are right now in massive kind of just imaginary make believe. Like the valuations on these things are crazy.
It's at 2:05 after hours right now. It opened up at 1:35.
Yeah, it'll keep going up.
I think it's gonna. Well, yes, it'll keep going up, but I feel like this next 2 weeks that it's gonna go like this.
I don't know how to tell people the day. I'm not like the day trading on it, but if this thing blows up, everything's blowing up because everything's based on the same bullshit. Like OpenAI, Anthropic, all these things, they don't have business models. There's a reason why, like, if people were paying attention and the government talking about investing into those companies, that's essentially saying, okay, these guys can't make money. They're not going to make money. We're going to go into it and just backstop them.
Yeah.
And when you see that should, I mean, and you saw Citadel put out a paper last week, like that, people aren't adopting them. They're not showing up to be major time savers. People are downgrading the models that they're using because they're too expensive at an enterprise level. I mean, and that's what I'm saying about doomsday. It's a choppy process. So I think there will be dips as like kind of these iterations happen, and there's these and there's like, oh shit, dude, like we're not on Mars yet, sell, and then buy that dip because they'll come out with something. Oh well, Mars is just a pit stop. We're going to Pluto.
Right. Did you hear that today SpaceX made their first huge purchase? Actually,
yeah, Cursor.
So a lot of people are saying that maybe the IPO was to fund this $60 billion Cursor purchase.
Yeah, look, all of this stuff. You have within this like AI thing, you have companies out there that are remotely, related to the power generation that don't have, they're promising some kind of new technology to get rid of the waste or bring the power. They don't have proof of concept. They don't have one contract, but they have a good deck and they've got an idea and they got a guy that's saying this is the way to go and it's valued at $1 billion. I mean, that's where we're at right now. I'm just, I can talk about it on the sidelines. I'm not, I gotta get in on this.
So for those of you listening or watching us, our good looking faces,
I love that hat.
By the way, we are not brothers. Many of you have been inquiring, are you guys brothers? Are you guys?
Well, it's my brother from another mother.
It's my brother from another mother. We're not even related, but we've known each other for a very, very long time and we're best friends. But anyway, if you guys want to see, we're on YouTube as well. Cursor, what is Cursor? Cursor built a popular AI coding tool that helps software developers generate, edit, and review code, and the company has experienced explosive growth since its founding in 2022. In November, Cursor said it crossed $1 billion in annualized revenue, according to a release at the time. Cursor's ranked number 37 on the annual CNBC disruptor list in 2026. So $60 billion to buy Cursor, maybe not a bad idea that Elon Musk has this company in his back pocket. It's a good idea.
Yeah, look, I think Starlink is amazing. And I think Starlink is generating some kind of EBITDA and revenue. I think Tesla, is pretty flat in terms of growth. I don't think that that's a real growth story.
Well, no. Well, Tesla, okay. The Tesla cars, shit, right?
Right.
But the real future in Tesla is the Optimus robots.
Right. There's going to be a million robots.
As well as the robotaxis. That's the future.
Okay, I'm with you. Look, it's a beautiful future. I'm with you. I'm not saying and look, net. How can you bet against Elon? I mean, the guy is a fucking trillionaire.
I'm not betting against Elon. I'm bullish on the stock, Matthew, and I will wait for the pullback. I hope there's a pullback.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
Buy every dip.
Buy the dip.
Buy every dip is the only financial planning you can have.
That's right. And all right, on to our next topic, and it might be our final topic of the day. and I know you don't know anything about this because we discussed this prior, but another dip CEO of Snap, Evan Spiegel.
Wait,
for
is
some
that
reason-
still the same kid?
It's the same kid.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, good for him. He bothers me.
Didn't he? I haven't seen him since he dated Miranda Kerr.
Well, he married her and he moved to Paris.
Are they together?
Yeah.
And he turned down $1 billion from what's his face?
Zuckerberg. Yeah. Which is the smart thing, but the Snap stock is terrible.
But
And I
these
don't know
kids
why.
love
Because all the
Snapchat.
kids- well, the whole thing is once the amount of money that these executives at Snap pay themselves, that's really, they're just milking it and milking and milking it. And for some reason, the stock can't get any traction because of these guys. Like if they
See, we should take
got out
Citizen
of their-
Outbreak public.
Yeah, exactly. They if they got out of their way, Snap would be ridiculous. I mean, it's all the kids are using Snap. I don't know any kid that
Right.
uses-
That's how they communicate.
I mean, yeah, TikTok, Snap. They
I
barely.
don't
they're
even,
barely
by the way,
using
I
it.
don't even understand Snap. I have no,
I don't understand Snap.
and I'm not
either.
even going there.
But I told you I posted that video
Mhm.
on Snap and I got like 60,000 views. I have no idea. I don't
On
know. how
Daddy's
it works.
about Daddy's girls.
No, it was
Rudy, be good.
Rudy Be Good for my first interview with Keith Bullock.
See, it's a whole ecosystem.
get it.
We've got Rudy, be good.
But even I think of a video that I posted of you and I got a couple thousand
Well, of course.
for Citizen Outbreak. But Snap unveiled today
Yeah.
their AI powered specs, aka glasses,
Okay.
and they were $2,195.
It's a
And
bargain.
I'm making $2,200. I don't
Do
understand.
they work on Mars?
They do. I have no idea, but listen.
So,
You know that
what-
Apple's coming out with glasses. You know that Meta is coming out with their
Well,
own.
Meta had the collab with
Ray-Ban and Oakley.
yeah, I bought
Right.
those for a buddy.
Hold on,
and
but no. These are different. These are like different. These are like
What are
think
they?
they're augmented reality glasses.
You know, the Meta ones are crazy.
I have the Meta ones.
Do you wear them?
Sometimes when I go to the city to record the derelicts on the street.
That's cool. That's a good use case.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are different. They're augmented reality. So I think this is what Meta is eventually going into, and also Apple. But there's going to be, with Snap doing it and all these other companies, that where you're going to be able to wear glasses like the Meta glasses, and is OpenAI or ChatGPT or Anthropic coming out with glasses? I assume so, where you're just walking on the street and you're like, hey, ChatGPT, and then it pops up into your glasses, or Anthropic does it with Claude, and Meta or Google with Gemini, and all these companies, and they're going to be racing. So are you going to be buying Snap glasses for $2,200, or are you going to wait for one of these other companies to come out with their glasses? Because what does Snap really do? What is Snap? It's a social media platform where you're making yourself look like a
They
like
were
a,
one of,
a princess.
I remember they had the glasses first.
Snap?
Yeah, I remember they had those sunglasses.
Oh, the sunglasses. Yeah, but they didn't take off either. Nobody.
They
had
were
them.
like cameras.
Yeah, nobody has them. That was to take pictures,
No,
which is a
but
good
I-
idea. But
I don't really know what, the wearables. I get the point of. And there's going to be some cool stuff on the wearable stuff, but I don't know Snap. $2,200. I'm not a buyer for that stuff. No.
No, I'm not buying Snap glasses.
Um,
The
You know-
Meta glasses are not a bad deal. They're only a couple $100.
they were a few $100s, and you could do like cool stuff with them, and they actually look like Ray-Bans.
They look
Like,
like
it's a nice fit, and the mic works really well. You could have a phone call on it. It works really
Yeah.
well.
and plays music.
Right. So I mean, I thought those were a cool product.
It's a great product.
Yeah.
Any other topics that you would like to discuss, Matthew?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's up?
Well, we covered the Knicks.
Yes. We covered UFC.
We covered UFC.
SpaceX, Snap glasses, the war in Iran.
I thought I had you know, I feel like we're leaving something off the table right now. It's really a great hat.
I know this is a
I'm
great,
jealous of that hat.
and it fits very nicely.
It does. Well, you got a good hat face. I don't have the best hat face.
Well, that's why I wear a hat on here.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something else that we're missing as far as a topic. I mean, so much has happened in the past week.
But you know, it's okay. You know, I'll say this. Nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. You know, I was gonna lean into some stuff about that. I think we're good.
I mean, we missed the whole week about Spencer Pratt losing to the election, but I don't know. That's.
I think California's a wrap.
California's a wrap.
Like just a wrap.
They're not coming back.
California's a wrap.
I don't know how much it's true because there's all these conspiracy theories, and we're not really conspiracy theorists, are we, Matthew?
No.
So I heard, and this is allegedly, that the reason why they didn't want Spencer Pratt as mayor is because it would put a cog in their mission to make LA a 15-minute city.
Here's the thing. I don't think that the people that they have running anything there can do anything. So that's the one problem with the theory on the 15. You know, they're going to have to execute. These people are really not competent.
Yeah,
they're really competent at destroying things. You know, but
speaking of, we're just talking about Chat GPT and OpenAI and all this stuff. So OpenAI's financials were just leaked, and it shows a $20 billion loss.
Yeah.
Against $13 billion in revenue.
Yeah. None of these LLMs have identified any kind of durable revenue model. The things that they're flirting with introducing are just not economically viable, and won't be adapted at enterprise. Like they'll be tossed away. And their problem is they've got a few problems. As much as the technology is improving, it's not where people believe it to be. And general understanding of the technology is galaxies behind where it is, which allows them to make up narrative about the technology continually. But then there's this expectation shock because somebody arrives and expects to be able to just, oh, you mean Claude can do all of my marketing? And then it can't. You can't do anything with AI unless the human is there to do it. So the whole narrative is told through the lens of the technology. I think, you know, we're very early. And just like with the .com, you'll see some of these guys really blow up. I think that the party is really rocking and people are making a lot of money on the corporate finance side of it. But if there is a dip, one of these guys could go away. You know, but like the narrative right now is funny. So, I mean, they'll find the next leg, and it's an amazing tool across a lot of different avenues. It's adding jobs in a lot of places because people are using it and they're finding out new things about problems and new things they've got to solve about those problems, which requires new minds to put in there. So we're very early. There's going to be more iterations, but I think like what they're showing with OpenAI, that's why you have the government coming out and saying that they'll subsidize them.
Yeah.
Tesla was subsidized. Tesla was losing $30,000 a vehicle.
Yeah. My prediction, and this is my prediction, I could be wrong, but I think that ChatGPT, OpenAI goes away. I mean, I think they will be the losers of the AI race.
You know, it's interesting. I think people now don't talk like nowadays when people say, "Did you chat?" People are saying Claude. Like
Claude. Everyone's on Claude.
Conversation.
I still use ChatGPT. I still use Claude. I still use Claude. So I'm using Claude a lot more for more important things.
So if you like Codex, right? When you get Codex and you have ChatGPT through Codex, like on the real coding side, not the vibe coding, like on the real. the 5.5 chat, that's like the models are all moving and different ones are different for different things. But the certainly the customer facing, the retail version of chat, what they in the last one, forget it. Claude's kicking the crap out of that. What you're using on the, but for image generation, it's just different. But I agree with you. I think chat right now faces I think I don't think that's a bad prediction.
I mean, you and I have talked like off camera, like Claude. If I had Claude when I was 18 years old, Matthew, are you fucking kidding me?
No, I mean, look, I mean, you can do amazing things, but there's no substitute for you being there. It's not like, and there's no,
you have to teach you have to teach the AI. You have to tell the AI. You have to keep going back and
but
forth.
It can't keep the context. Like, so the best version of it in terms of context is if when you have codecs and you've got it into your system, right? And now it has access, but the price at an enterprise level for a company, they can't do it right now. To run it like the end. So once they get the bill, what you're seeing is people being like, okay, we're not going to do that. And we don't need the best model to just automate our emails. We don't need to understand everything about it. So it's funny. And I think as these things go back, when there's a real dip and people like see that, I think OpenAI would be the first one. And I don't like the developers of any of them. I don't like the Anthropic guy. I think he's creepy, but I think Sam Altman is really creepy.
He's very creepy. I mean, they're all creepy. They're all nerds, but Sam is like, the stories that you hear about him, the alleged stories that you hear are bizarre, and he doesn't seem like he's a good guy. And
no, he doesn't look like a good guy. None of them look like good guys.
And the whole story between him and Elon and everything is just, let's not forget, going back to Elon Musk started OpenAI. He started OpenAI. He's the one.
Yeah. He was also, you want to talk about electric and climate change? That was Elon.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Elon's OG.
He's the OG. He's the genius.
You want to talk about digital currency? Well, Elon, PayPal.
Yeah, PayPal. The PayPal Mafia. Thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of Citizen Outbreak. Follow us on Instagram, Citizen Outbreak, YouTube, CitizenOutbreak.com. Buy the game. And tell your friends, subscribe, share our posts, share our stories, share our clips. I've noticed that more people are watching our clips than before. And we're on Apple iTunes podcast. We're on Spotify. But again, we're on YouTube. And we're everywhere. So
let's go.
Follow us. And we'll see you soon.
It's great hat.